All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth, with Ben Jokes. Hisbah Commission destroys 51 cartons of alcohol in Yobe State, seized intoxicants. The Hisbah Commission in Yobe has destroyed 51 cartons of alcoholic beverages and 18 jerrycans of methylene chloride, popularly referred to as Madara Sukurdai, in a statewide crackdown on intoxicating substances. The commission said that the operation carried out in various parts of the state was sequel to Yobe's legal and religious framework, which prohibits the sale and consumption of alcohol and other intoxicants in accordance with Islamic principles, not in accordance with the laws of Nigeria, but in accordance with Islamic principles. So let me give you the clearer picture. You are in your bar and a group of guys walk in and they destroy your crates of beer, champagne, and any other thing, no matter how much the goods are worth. In the name of Islam forbids it. In a secular nation like Nigeria, not an Islamic state. The same person brings his cattle to your farm in Ondo State and they eat your crops. They destroy your businesses again in your own state. And if you complain, he shoots you. Yet the entire southern Nigeria cannot shut the country down to have a conversation on this injustice. This is really exasperating. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that update coming out of the FCT. Some of the projects that the APC have been bragging about in the FCT have started collapsing after just one rain. And Nigerians began asking, are these not some of the projects Tinubu is planning to commission as part of the celebration of his first 2 years in office? And next is that update from President of African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, blasting Tinubu and other African leaders for failing the youths, and concurrently news of how the president of France, Macron, shamed Tinubu in France began making the rounds. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you these videos. Instead of arresting the Fulanis killing the people of Ondo State, the government is busy arresting youth leaders, and that has led to a protest. See the video.
We have a lot in the study to run. You are a very weak man. You are a failure. Thirty. 2 hours, 30 minutes to go.
That he should release our Keju and the other two secretaries that are there that are in the captive now. Because now, if he didn't do that, we are here, we stay here till tomorrow, anytime. We cook here, we stay here, we sleep here.
They brought 4 count charges against them, and our lawyer told them that the magistrate does not have jurisdiction to attend to that case. But he just said no, that next 4 days or 5 days they will attend to that. They should be remanded at Olokuta till April 16. And that's why we are coming out, that we said no to this unlawful act. They are trying to oppress the Nigerian youth, they are trying to oppress the Nigerian students, and we'll take it. And
you saw that. Ondo State government has not arrested even one Fulani headsman after days of consistent killing in the state. But it is youth leaders that they are arresting. I don't think there is any other country in this world where young people are as oppressed as they are in Nigeria. And the worst is, the present-day young Nigerians are being oppressed by the generation that enjoyed free education, that enjoyed free meals in schools, the generation that got government grants and jobs very easily. In fact, they were offered jobs upon graduation. But look at how they are treating today's youths after they have destroyed the opportunities that helped them in their own time. Ondo State government has not arrested any of these killers, but their own innocent youths are the people they are arresting. What a shame. But I am happy. Let everybody feel the heat of the wicked APC so that our brains can realign. The next video here is about the visit of the IG's delegation to Bokos, Plateau State, after the killing of over 100 people. And after watching this video, I will point out 3 reasons why the conversation of state police in Nigeria must begin immediately. See the video.
Focus remains a top priority for the Nigerian police force. According to the Inspector General of Police, represented by the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations, Kwaji Yakubu, the visit was crucial to identifying the security lapses that attackers have exploited.
Arrived from yesterday, the IG deployed an aerial helicopter, which is mounted by myself, along with the special intervention squad mounted with gun truck. And I have come into Plateau, I have gone round on aerial surveillance. I have seen the destruction.
The DIG reassured the people of Bokos of the force's unwavering commitment to bringing the perpetrators of the attacks to justice.
The measures have already been put in place. A unit of mobile policemen has already arrived at Bokos as directed by the Inspector General of Police.
The intervention of the security personnel, they are able to curtail the menace. As it is, we went round, you've seen there is calmness everywhere, though we have people, we have 5 IDP camps.
Some victims have appealed to the government to deploy more security personnel to the area, especially as the farming season approaches, so they can move about freely without fear.
They come shoot us anyhow. My in-law is standing near by me like this. They shoot my in-law, we are together.
We want the government to help us with more security, because right now the ones that are here, for me, are not much. We want them to help us with security.
During the visit, the DIG also held a stakeholders meeting with leaders from various communities. The focus was on improving security collaboration and promoting lasting peace in the region.
You heard that. The conversation on state police must begin immediately. Reason number 1, the visit of that DIG and the other members of that delegation came just yesterday, something that was supposed to happen the very day the news of another massive attack broke out, or at most a day after. It shows that the central policing has failed because they cannot even react urgently. And secondly, the lady in the video was asking for more officers. She said the ones on ground are not enough. That lady can already, envisage the next attack. And she has seen that the number of officers on ground will not be able to stop that attack. We need more hands. This is another reason why we urgently need state policing. And thirdly, the DIG speech shows he just went round doing nothing. He just went round the community and its environs. He could not say any tangible thing that he observed. He said mobile police units are on ground, but how long are they going to remain on ground there? They need people from that state recruited as police to protect that state. The other guy was already saying everywhere is calm. Calm what? Those are rhetorics. We need people who understand the terrain to fight this insecurity, because those killers are going to return to that community anytime soon. Every state needs police, but I doubt if that will ever happen under the APC. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that updates from the FCT, Wike's projects collapsing after just one reign. And next are those updates from the president of African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, and the president of France, Mr. Macron, both humiliating Tinubu. Let's begin with that update from the FCT. Look at how the papers reported it. Nigeria's FCT residents lament as multi-million naira drainage fails after first rainfall. Sahara Reporters, a civic watchdog group, Monit NG, has expressed concerns over the use of substandard materials in a multi-million naira drainage project in Gwagwalada Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory FCT, calling on the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, to take immediate action against the contractor responsible. The project, which cuts across major parts of Gwagwalada town, including Park Road, Aguma Palace, One Way, and the Abattoir area, was awarded by the federal government to address flooding and improve infrastructure. However, parts of the drainage system reportedly collapsed after the first rainfall, raising alarms about the quality of construction and the integrity of the materials used. We discovered it was constructed with substandard materials, and sadly, parts collapsed after the very first rain due to the poor job done by the contractor. Money NG said in a statement it released on Thursday. The group described the situation as part of a troubling pattern in which contractors handling public projects compromise on quality to cut costs and maximize profits. This not only undermines public trust, but also puts lives and infrastructure at risk, the statement added. Residents of Gwagwalada, many of whom rely on proper drainage to avoid seasonal flooding, are now forced to deal with the consequences of what they call a failed project. Photos circulating online show collapsed slabs and waterlogged roads in the affected areas. The group has issued a strong call for accountability and reform, urging FCT Minister Nyesom Wike to act swiftly. We are calling on Governor Wike to urgently intervene by compelling the contractor to return and properly complete the work. Gwagwalada residents deserve better, durable infrastructure, not half-baked projects that collapse at the first rainfall. Monit NG insisted. You heard that. Now, to be honest, if there is one thing that Wike does well, it is his projects. He inflates the contracts. Yes, if it is 10 billion he needs, he will say 50 billion, but he uses quality materials. The only difference in this FCT case is this: most of the contractors he used or he uses for those projects came from Tinubu, and they don't care about doing a good job. Their own is just to do something, collect money, settle the Tinubu family, then go straight to Owambe. Because they are Yoruba people, just go straight to Owambe and start enjoying themselves. That is why we are seeing this substandard work here now. And this tweet here says, Wike is working in Abuja, Siam. Dan says, those who steal power will not use it to better your life. And this tweet here says, it was poorly constructed because 2/3 of the money went to the account of the contractor and the person that stamped the contract. It's as simple as that. That is why they could not use standard materials. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that update from President of African Development Bank and President of France began making the rounds. Let's start with how the President of African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, blasted Tinubu and other African leaders for giving youths 10,000 naira for empowerment instead of supporting their talents. Look at how the papers reported it. Japa, youths need capital, not 10,000 naira freebies. African Development Bank's Adesina. The president of the African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, says Africa's youth bulge is a demographic asset that has to become an economic asset through rigorous investment in human capital development and financing. The former Nigerian agriculture minister said youths in Nigeria and other 51 countries in Africa don't need freebies under the guise of empowerment schemes, but capital to fund their ideas and translate same into enduring wealth. Young people don't need freebies. They don't need people saying, I just want to give you an empowerment program. They have skills. They have knowledge. They have entrepreneurship capacity. They want to turn their ideas into great businesses. What young people need is not those empowerment programs. They need capital. They need you to put your money at risk on their behalf, he added. The economist lamented the migration phenomenon known as Japa in Nigeria, saying that it is a big loss for Nigeria and the African continent. I do not believe that the future of our young people lies in Europe. It doesn't lie in America. It doesn't lie in Canada, Japan, or China. It should lie in Africa, growing well, growing robustly, and able to create quality jobs for our young people, he said. The African Development Board said the financial system in Africa was not designed to support young people on the continent. The whole of the banking system is not designed for young people. The commercial banking system and the financial system failed young people in Africa. We have over 465 million young people between the ages of 15 and 35. Where is the financial market for them? Why is it suddenly a surprise to us that they are leaving? It is because you are not putting anything down for them. We must recognize that the young people are our biggest asset. The demographic asset has to become an economic asset And to do that, you have to put down capital. He said the African Development Bank just approved $100 million to set up the Nigerian Youth Entrepreneurship Investment Bank to mobilize $2 billion of investment for more than 38,000 businesses of young people in Africa. You cannot turn your demographic asset into somebody else's problem. We have to put our money behind our young people to create opportunities for them. They don't need 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira. You want to create youth-based wealth. If you don't, who are the people who will pay taxes in the future? Where are you going to get the capital mobilization in the future? You have to therefore invest in the same demographic so you can reap the future, he submitted. And this is exactly what Peter Obi has been saying. He said we have a great population of young people. Why don't we invest in them for the future of this country? Akinwumi Adesina just totally schooled Tinubu and his entire cabinet. And when he was saying Nigeria and Africa, everybody knew that his eyes were on Nigeria. He was just saying and Africa so that it won't be as if he's directly slamming Tinubu. But we know what he's saying, because Tinubu has been the one giving out 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira. He will even go and collect loans, trillions of naira that he wants to share to Nigerians. What kind of idea is that? Ever since Akinwumi Adesina made this statement, Nigerians have been calling on Bayo Ononuga to come out and respond, because he responds to everything. They say, yeah, come out and talk now, you and Felix Moka and Sunday Dare. And they are nowhere to be found, because Mr. Adesina has completely taken the entire cabinet to the cleaners. And Nigerians began saying, if the Southwest was going to present a candidate, a presidential candidate, why not present a man like this, for God's sake? Why go for people whose brains are gone? And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that update from France began making the rounds. We all know that Tinubu is in France for a 2-week walking visit, according to him, because we said it was a medical trip, but his aides and everybody said no, he went for a walking visit, that he's walking hand in hand with the government of France. But barely 48 hours after he entered France, the president of France, Macron, that he claims to be walking hand in hand with, left France and went to Egypt. Look at it. Check out the date. 8th of April 2025. French President Macron tours Egypt aid outpost for Gaza. Man went to Egypt to do serious business. You came to treat yourself. You are lying to Nigerians that you went for a walking visit, that you are walking hand in hand. What manner of hand in hand are you walking with France? And this news was not even popular. It was underground. I don't know how they managed to suppress it. It was journalist Rufai Hussaini that blew it out of proportion when he quickly tweeted this. President Tinubu go France, Macron go Egypt, and the whole internet was set on fire. Several reactions to that tweet. That was when Nigerians got to know that was actually happening in France. So no matter how you want to look at it, this is a disgrace. If you went to see the president and he abandoned you there, you have been disgraced. And if you went for a medical checkup and you lied that you were going for a walking visit, it's still on you. And out of the thousands of reactions, I just took only this one by Sam Abraham. Sam Abraham said Macron must have said, Macron be like, you visited my country 5 times. Nigga, are you okay? However, I have better things to attend to. You be my guest. And Onion replied, he said, number 8 visit since he stole the presidency. 5 times, 8 times, however you want to look at it, it is bad enough. And this should not be happening. We have all it takes to excel as a country without running from pillar to post to Western countries. This is what the 37-year-old is doing in Burkina Faso. The guy in Mali is trying his best, and other parts of Africa are picking up. If Nigeria wants to be in that noble conversation of people who are ready to transform their country, then the people must come together to get the APC out of power. But until then, make I still enter town, make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go.